Good morning from a beautiful, sunny St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. City on the south portion of the province of New Brunswick. Home to numerous moose. No, that's not a real one. The statue of the moose down by the harbor and the boardwalk here in historic uptown St. John. You've seen numerous people exploring boutiques, studios, and restaurants. Offer everything from local seafood to ethnic cuisine. Some of the lovely boats here sitting just outside the Bay of Fundy, which is in low tide right now. And we'll head down to Harbor Station. That is playing host to the 2014 Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Our feature game today, China at 5-2 taking on Denmark. The records are lopsided. Denmark trying to finish strong out of the playoff considerations, but now trying to play spoiler as they take on China here today in the first of a 3-draw day again. Second to last round robin day. Luke Coley joined with Ann Swisshelm as we get you set up for this one. Standings are key between these teams, but China, Denmark, really been a tale of 2 weeks for China, starting 0-2 and now winning 5 in a row.
Yeah, good morning, Luke. It's great to be here, and this should be a very big game for Team China. This can solidify their presence moving into the post-round robin play. They have been on a hot streak, unlike any other team, 5 games in a row. And they are playing a very experienced back end in the sisters Madeline and Denise DuPont. That team just needs to make the right shots at the right time. Now
let's meet those teams. China going with that same lineup. Their lead, Ray Wang. Second, Jinli Liu. Their third, Yilun Yang. And the skip of this team that's won 5 in a row, Sedya Louis. They'll take on Denmark with just the 1 victory. To their credit, their lead, Lena Knudsen. Second, Christine Svensson. And as Anne referenced the DuPont sisters, Denise at third. And the skip, Madeline DuPont. Do battle here, as this is draw 12. Well, let's look at the standings. Switzerland, Sweden, Canada enter the day 6-1, tied for first. Then China, Korea, Russia, all with 2 losses right behind. And the U.S. needs some help and to keep winning or get back on the winning ways at 3-4. Then Scotland, Germany, Latvia, Czech Republic, and Denmark round things out. Everyone with a win now, as the Czech Republic the last to get a victory.
Yeah, and those standings are pretty key. Here are the other games that are happening this morning. Canada, Germany, China versus Denmark, our feature. United States versus Czech Republic, Switzerland, Scotland. Overall, Canada, China, Switzerland looking to solidify their time in the post-round robin play. And United States in a must-win situation after a real tough middle of the draw.
They'll need to rebound. They need a couple of wins today. As you see the Swiss fans here will look to cheer on their team as their 1 loss coming to Korea. But we'll focus in Denmark and China. Denmark, we'll see how they played. The yesterday game against Sweden played better. The key to the team is how well the front end plays. They have had some struggles. They've had up and down games. Really look to build on the successes that they've had.
Yeah, the front end, very, very young, very new to the World Championship level of play. And they definitely struggled in the first half of the round robin, but they've been settling in of late. Percentages are starting to climb up. They're starting to get more comfortable with the ice. And with that, after the last draw shot challenge, Team China was closest to the center of the rings, and they will have hammer for this opening end of play. That means Lena Knudsen and Team Denmark throw the first stone.
As you see, Denmark with the white jackets will throw the yellow stones, and China will match their rocks with the red jackets.
Yeah, and with this opening stone, we have seen pretty much across the board, every game, every team puts this stone right in the rings. Very patient play without the hammer, not wanting to force anything. And the other teams willing to play, happy to play a takeout game just to get started.
That's what Ray Wang will do. 19-year-old lead for Team China.
We've seen some struggles from Ray Wang in these early ends here.
That's a big one. That wasn't close to hitting that one. Slides right by.
Yeah, I've noticed in their pre-game practice, she throws really only draws, and she throws one hit, and then it's draw, 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 and she is opened with a hit in every game. So I think there needs to be a little bit of a team adjustment there. Maybe letting Ray Wang throw a couple more hits in practice, knowing that she is likely going to throw one in that first end. And unfortunately here, Denmark was doing everything they can to split the rings, generate an early force that may have been a little too soon. But we'll get a chance to see Ray try and make amends for that opening miss.
Well, gets a second crack at it after the first rock miss. And that's the inconsistent play that we've seen from Denmark. They have a chance to draw in lie 2 and well short of the rings. China get away with the miss.
Yeah, now China has a corner guard. I think that Denmark needed to put something in front of the rings without hammer in the center of play. They had a great chance to just guard their own, create some traffic in front of the forefoot.
Well, Christine Svensson looking to stick around. One of the faces of the future of Denmark curling. Of course, winning both the Denmark nationals at both the women's and junior level.
Yep, she was the junior skip in Switzerland earlier this championship season. Now, this is a great opportunity for China. Jinli Lui gets a chance to throw a draw underneath that corner guard.
Well, this is a path they didn't throw a lot in practice. A lot of the practice is throwing everything to work towards that draw to the butt and draw to the center of the rings.
Yeah, and that was very well managed, very well managed. We've seen a lot of curl into that back right corner for the shooter. So, young Christine Svensson playing a delicate come-around takeout.
Well, little roll to the center, able to get at that one.
Really nice shot.
First end of play here in draw 12 as we look at the rules of play. 6 ends minimum, 73 minutes on the time clock for each team with 1 coach interaction. They'll come down and discuss things with the clock still running. Jinli Liu trying to get at that one. It is open, try and make the roll behind corner. All right, on the nose.
It's a nice shot. It was a little bit up weight for Team China in the comfort zone we've seen out of them, which is normal for a second. Now we get the first look at third Denise Dupont.
The older of the 2 Dupont girls on the back end of this Denmark squad. Well, hits, rolls out. Small mistake, may not seem much there, but now an opportunity to play that draw around.
Yeah, an outstanding opportunity for China to, again, get a score of 2 set up in this opening end of play. Yilun Yang. Played alternate for the very familiar Binyu Wang, Olympic bronze medalist, world champion skip from China. At the so Yilun was at the most recent Olympics in Sochi, Russia. And we've got a team sweep happening, trying to drag every bit of distance out of this rock. They're losing the rings, and
that's a tough draw, especially when you know it's the weight's coming off and it continues to curl. Because the rings, the shape they are, it keeps going away from them, and they can't get it to the rings. They didn't need to be that tight to the guard.
Yeah, and that's the situation as a sweeper. You're just like praying, where are the rings? Where are they? Are we there yet? And the girls working that rock as hard as possible, just a little bit underthrown. Now this is a situation, Team Denmark is electing to go underneath that corner. And they just get that rock to the rings. Excellent sweep by the front end from Denmark.
Well, and it's in a position where they hit on it. Now you have to worry about that stone beyond the rings in that dead zone.
Yeah, it does create a situation where it may jam, but when we get a chance for the overhead view, I think that the angle will be such that the jam is pretty unlikely. But they're electing to draw around this. I really like this call. This is nice, aggressive call, recognizing. This is curling really hard on Team China.
While trying to get it past that yellow one. And I think just touched it.
Just touched it. Great weight out of the third. Great weight adjustment. She doesn't over-adjust and send it to the back of the rings. Just nice, steady adjustment. Unfortunately, they did not have the line on that one.
Yeah, weight was perfect to really set something up. And now Madeline Dupont, opportunity to make a play on it. And if she can hit and stick, chance to lie 2 and an early force. Well, Madeline, 26, but you wouldn't know it when you look at her list of accomplishments and appearances at the World Championship. This is her 8th trip. She's been to the Olympics. She played in 5 World Juniors, 5 European Championships. Able to get to that one, but she can't hold the shooter.
Yeah, that was an opportunity for Denmark to really put some pressure on Sedia Louis, skip from Team China. And this has sort of been the story for Team Denmark all along, those half shots, the hits and rollouts, the tick on the guard. And they just need to sharpen up their execution a bit.
Sedia Louis, 25 years old, has guided her team to a 5-2 record, entering the second last round robin day. Well, Yang out to help. They just need to get shot stone out of this. Again,
And
won't
they
get by.
do. They get shot stone. It is fully available to Team Denmark.
Well, looking to play that intern. Again, just quiet wait. Well, Denmark playing two of the contenders right now in this in their day today. They get China now, avoid the jam, roll over, and will sit to get the force, forcing China to take one.
Yeah, that was a very important shot in getting back the hammer, forcing Team China, and Sedia Louis faced with a pressure shot here in the first end. So confirming with her sweepers, ice speed.
So final stone of this first end, draw 12, and China looking to win 6 in a row.
And our
well, I think when Sedia let that one go, she wasn't totally comfortable that she threw enough.
She was ready to help sweep if necessary. Very, very traditional choice by Team China.
So it goes into the forefoot. China gets their one. We're through one end here of draw 12, the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Welcome back. The second end here at the World Championship, St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. Luke Coley joined with Anne Swisshelm. China had opportunities. The play was in their favor to draw around, use play away from the center. Now they get their one. Denmark has the hammer.
Yeah, China had some opportunities in that first end to set up a score of 2, and actually the opportunity was set up by Team Denmark in their accidental corner guard. So Lena Knudsen from Team Denmark will play a hit on Ray Wang's stone in the top of the forefoot.
Talked about China winning 5 in a row. Denmark has lost 5 in a row after starting 1-1. Trying to get out of it as we look over Switzerland, who's tied for first right now against Scotland. A disappointing 2-5 record for them. Binja Felcher, opportunity, strike first, open draw for a second point. Really just needs full 12-foot or better. And they have just been rolling all week long. Their one loss yesterday to Korea. And that one nicely done into the forefoot. So a 2 for Switzerland. They look to move to 7-1. They can knock off the Scots here this morning.
Yeah, and on our feature game, the second takeout for Ray Wang that didn't get 100% marks. A hit and roll out allows Team Denmark to put up a corner guard and try to generate some offense. So Team Denmark has elected to play this corner guard to the left side of your screen on the ice. And we've seen some teams have trouble getting around that spot in the ice. It's a little straighter going to that side. But the corner guard's fairly long, and with the excellent ice conditions from our head ice technician, Jamie Brasso, and his crew, it should be possible. Maybe easier on the other side, but should be possible here.
They want to get this fairly close to the ring so that they can draw around and really utilize the guards.
Yeah, and that's a really well thrown guard there. As we take a peek in on the United States versus Czech Republic. Opening end to play, Team USA has hammer. Skip Allison Pottinger has a draw to score a second point in this opening end in a must-win game for Team USA. Simple draw. She needs to get near or into the forefoot.
It was a tough couple days for the U.S., and they were hoping to get a split each day. Would have been ideal. They don't get any of the 4, and need a big day.
Yeah, and that's a nice start for them. A score of 2 with the hammer, take a 2-0 lead over the Czech Republic, and get back to their winning ways.
Yeah, they have the Czech Republic here in this draw, then Latvia in the evening draw. So 2 games, they'll go in. They would say they should win.
Yeah, the difference between should win and must win, though, create a change in the pressure and the environment. And USA is a very experienced team, and they should be able to step up to that challenge. So we're seeing this straight ice here, just up the weight a little bit, and get just a piece of it for Chin Louis.
I'll peel it out, couple of guards. Right now, advantage to Denmark to try and use the corner guard.
And Christine Svensson looked a little apprehensive on the release of that rock. Weight looks nice if it'll slow down just a bit. Line's excellent on this shot.
Yeah, good looking stone.
I'd love for it to sit above the tee line.
Just a little deep as it goes back 8 foot. Channel go after as we'll cut over and look at Canada, Germany. Opposite records there, 6-1 against 1-6. Imogen Una Lehmann with the hammer in the first end. Facing 3 Canadian stones. Looking out-turn. Hit to pick up her single point. So once they hit, let it roll in, and will catch the side of the button, lie one, and score their single. So after one, Germany leads Canada over on sheet A.
And on our feature sheet, while we had the split screen going, that was a fantastic hit by Team China's Yilun Yang underneath that corner guard to roll back to the center. Now we've got an interesting situation. Team Denmark's having their third. Denise DuPont draw around, use those Chinese stones against China. We'll get a first look at the rock clock. So this number running in the bottom left hand of your screen is the rock speed between the hog lines. And this is that very curly spot, Luke. We have seen this.
Yeah, it just goes all over the front. Can't get by, and not only doesn't get into the rings, but makes that draw path behind the corner if they wanted to use it more difficult.
Yeah. So China's got a couple of options here to block that center path, to come right in. I think they need to come right in.
Tan Weidong, team coach for the Chinese side.
Very experienced coach. He has led this Chinese program to a lot of wins at the World Championship level.
Now working with another team after numerous years, Bing Wang and World Championship. Just a few years ago in 2009. Just touched that one, and top part of the rings underneath that center worked out pretty good.
Yeah, that ends up in a great spot. It's a rock that Team Denmark has to contend with. So they're looking for just a nice down weight as we get a look.
Millard Evans, coach of this Denmark team, a Canadian out of Edmonton, Alberta.
Very accomplished curler.
3 world senior titles with 3 different skips. Pat Ryan, Les Rogers, and Mark Johnson. So they end up peeling that one out.
Yeah, that was a situation there where there was quite a bit of weight thrown for that shot, and I think just a little too much weight. They needed the shooter to stick around, put some extra pressure, generate that second point somehow for Team Denmark, or even just generate the opportunity for the second point. Sadia Louis with what has already become that familiar, intense, and calm focus. So
well, can't touch it because they got to wait for it to pass that other Yellowstone.
line looks fine. It's just about weight. They want to tuck about half this rock underneath.
And they'll get all of it basically behind that center line, just off center stone.
Yep. Smiles. She didn't need any help on that one. Perfect right out of hand.
So 1-0, China leads this the second end, and see Denise DuPont pulling the broom for her younger sister, Madeline. They played China in the 1-2 game of the year. Bing Yuang won the World Championship, went on to win the bronze that year in 2009. Lost a final in 2007 to Canada. A couple of world medals, and won't be that this week, but now trying to play spoiler against China. Looking for the run back. and will get the 1 off the top of the 8-foot. So China lies 1.
And unfortunately for Madeline Dupont, this Danish skip, that is the type of situation she has been looking at time and time again here in St. John. Lots of complicated run back doubles, freezes.
Difference for her squad this year is she's calling the game. Before, with Angelina Jensen and they were in the front end, and she called the game. Different now, she's calling the game and throwing those final 2 stones.
Yeah, that's a tremendous responsibility on any single individual player, and definitely takes some adjustment. I'd like to see these sweepers cleaning this rock a little bit.
All into the top part of the rings. Enough to lie 2. Guard that one back of the 8-foot. Can hit it for shot. Has the full 8-foot, but would have to go a little bit wider to get.
Yeah, and this is a difficult draw. She does have the. She's got the in-turn draw if she should choose through that port.
We'll go with the in-turn. You can play around. Go a little bit wider with the out-turn. The problem is it curls. And
yeah, I'm not sure that out-turn draw is there now. The way the guards in front of the rings are staggered. I certainly wouldn't want to see my skip attempt it, but
well, it looks like with Broom here, they're playing the in-turn on the wide side, a little bit straighter side of the ice, towards the center, trying to get the 8-foot. Said it throughout the week. When it is a little bit straighter, tough to do that. And now looking at another option. A port in the middle you could draw through with the in-turn.
Yeah, I think that one might be easier. You've got some options there, but looks like she's changed her mind to play this double.
So must see enough. Go after the double. Madeline Dupont. While trying to make this double. Get one and sticks it on the back. Figured it was their best way to try and score, but it'll be a steal of 1 for China. They increased their lead to 2-0, taking 1 without the hammer. We're through 2 ends. China, a 2-point lead. Well, the red and white being sported and just checking his hair. As he watches on the Canadian game on sheet A, but we are on sheet B. Could be cheering for Denmark with the red and white.
Yeah, there's lots of great fans here this morning. It's nice to see in the morning draw here as we see Ray Wang's shot slip in to the rings here. It's where it was called. But again, we got to look at that little bit of a straighter side, Luke. She got maybe a hair outside of the desired slide path, and it just doesn't come back there.
So not in the ideal position to start. They did get the steal last end.
Yeah, and with the rock being in an unthreatening spot, this gives Denmark a chance to put a corner guard on the opposite side of the ice. This one's sliding a little deep. Ends up in that free guard zone, so China cannot take that rock fully out of play. And Sedia Louis will look to have Ray Wang better her rock placement on this second shot.
Both these nations with one world title to their country's name, but it's been a while since Denmark has been on top the podium.
Is that Helena Block Larvison?
You are correct.
All right.
1982.
Yes, and Olympic bronze medalist from 1998, I believe.
Lost the semifinal to Sandra Schmirler. So we look over Switzerland and Scotland. And it is Switzerland up 2-0, that one back. Button, Carrie Barr has had a tough week so far. 27-year-old skip just hasn't been able to get it going and put it all together in a game. A lot of pressure on her too. Of course, Scotland, the reigning world champion nation. They will try to play spoiler now.
Yep, looking for a piece of the full four, piece of the button for this single point.
And looks like it just touches that guard, takes the weight off. And a steal of one for Switzerland. So 3-0 after 2 ends. That's on sheet D. So 32 years since the last Denmark World Championship. They're one and only. Have had close calls. Of course, Madeleine Dupont part of it in 2009. Lost the semifinal to Annette Norberg, eventually won by Bing Yuang of China. They lost the final in Japan in Amori in 2007.
And this one's running on Team China. And
what's the sweep call there for?
Sedia Louis, very aware sweep call, saw that her second was a little bit wide and didn't want to push the Danish stone under cover. She wanted to leave it wide open there so she would have a second chance at it. So they were sweeping basically to miss once it was either too much ice, too much weight.
Oh, and a little mistake on the slide there. Lost her footing and was early enough she could have pulled it back and stopped, but ended up running it back and making the run back takeout.
Oh, sometimes better lucky than good on that one. Sometimes Christine Svensson gets away with a little bit of a miscue here.
Just never really got herself settled. And
so, you know, just to talk a little bit about that, that's one of those situations where she got her rock and her slide foot moving at the same exact time. So you need to get the rock going just in front of your slide foot, so you've got somewhere to put that slide foot when you tuck in behind. And it came at the same time. There's no room for your foot, and it creates a misbalance. It's just a little bit about timing there.
So that one in the house. Your third end to play.
So she's got to settle herself, get her timing back. Much better timing there. Nice control weight.
Well, nose hit, lie one, as we'll look over Canada, Germany, and Germany putting the pressure on Rachel Homan and that Canadian side. It's facing multiple yellow, looks like 4, and Rachel bringing weight. Has to make the double to score 1. And she will make the double and just sit there with that big weight. Didn't have much room for error against 4, but Canada will get 1, so 1-1. All square on sheet A. Well, just a hair out and rolling out of the rings.
It's a pretty unforgiving spot. Any outward momentum there, and that stone is not going to come back. We've seen that a couple of times over there already. So Denise Dupont going to be asked to draw a rock in the rings. That's a nice shot there. Unfortunately, it slips just behind the tee line. So close to the guard. Sweepers waited, line caller waited as long as they could, knowing it had all the necessary weight.
Well, one of those cases you have to get by. Now China trying to follow it down, can sit on top of it. So the come-around's there. Now Denise Dupont, they call for the straight back. A little bit of room, they could pick this one out, knowing that a freeze doesn't get them shot stone.
Yeah, they must be close there.
Well, avoid it and stick it there. That's a fabulous shot, able to throw quiet hit weight, not overthrowing it, not whipping it down there.
Yeah, that I was really happy to see in that straight side. Any kind of overthrow or outward momentum. And look, that isn't just good, that is great.
Guard stays perfectly out in front. Shooter, you run in, stays in the forefoot. Just touch that yellow one over. They haven't had a chance to smile that much. And a tough week at 1-6. Play China here and then Russia later today. Trying to play spoiler, help some of those other teams. One of those teams being the US would be nice. They could knock off these two teams, would help the Americans immensely.
Yeah. It would make a huge difference in the post-round robin standings. But that's the kind of shot we knew Denmark was capable of making. It's nice to see that come through for them today.
What's the first to skip stones, and where the broom is, looks as though picking the back one out.
Yeah, it's and this is that spot. It's a tricky spot.
Well, big scrub. And they'll touch the front. Do they touch it into the rings? Not quite. As Denmark lies 2. With it so close to the rings, now an opportunity to try and play a split, bring another one in.
Yeah, with those excellent shots by third Denise Dupont, Madeline, her sister, is looking to really put some pressure on Team China. They've called a split here on the rock on the top of the house.
She want the shooter try and roll as a protect him in the rings.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to roll it far. She really just wants to touch it, roll her shooter over, and sit 4, and the 2 on the forefoot under cover. One's curling on them. This gives China a little bit of an out. They can play a double and roll behind this double Danish guards there.
Well, quick decision. Play this one. The roll is important. Even if you don't make the double, try and make the roll. But they'd love to get rid of a couple.
Last rock here in the third end for Sejia Louis, Team China.
Well, try and make the double. Won't make the double, but where does the roll? Do they sit for shot?
Looks like they do.
And they do. And well protected.
So the phrase we like to say, that's why they get paid the big bucks. Skips to make those kind of shots.
Get lots of the praise and first to be criticized.
Right, yeah. So Team Denmark is going to use the rock they just threw for a double raise. This is a very makeable shot for 3. The angles are very forgiving in Denmark's favor. They just need to hit somewhere on the high side to nose of that rock in front of the 12-foot.
So, trying to raise this one back.
It's close. It's
Hair
close.
high, catch enough of it, and won't. So close, had a solid end built up and unable to come up with it. Sejia Louis makes the shot, trumps Madeline Dupont. And it is another steal, so now 3-0 China after 3.
是我那边稍微再给你小，但你那个力量一开始没太大了，第二个还行，但是你那边我还得给你小点，要不然你稍微放点力量也行。不是，但是我放点力量，我觉得那边点应该再小一点。再小一点。对，行，那咱俩再交流交流，然后那边太小。
Well, look over USA, Czech Republic, as it is US line 2. An open hit here. Anna Kubiskova. Lefty skip. Been a tough week for her as well. Some of the one-win teams fighting there, trying to play spoiler, taking on the US. And will make the nose hit, get her one. So 2-1. US will get the hammer into the fourth end of that one. And there, a fifth loss might be too many for the US. And you see the 3 singles in each end. One with the hammer in the first, then steal, steal. 3-0 is where we sit. Sedie Louis and China, her team from Harbin.
Yeah, after an excellent shot last end to get them out of some significant trouble.
And just when Denmark thinks they might have something going, they get a nice shot from Denise Dupont, pick it out to lie 2 behind cover. Mistake from China. They are unable to play the split, and then allows the out for China and took advantage of the mistake.
So Denmark going to do everything they can to generate some offense here. So corner guard goes up.
See the numbers coming in. These are coming into draw 12. Ray Wang started, played a game at third to start the event, then second. Has played lead since. 10th among lead stones.
Yeah, she's having a little bit of control issues here playing lead. Not with that one. Perfectly placed. Frozen to her first stone.
Lina Knudsen also 75%. She's had a couple of games recently, her last 2 in the 80s. She's picked up her play after struggling in the early going.
Yeah, really finding a comfort level with the ice, and
just a hair off of perfection there. Still important that the shooter stays.
Yeah, and it's again, it's drawing attention away from that corner guard, which is still up there and away for Team Denmark. To eventually generate some multiple point scores.
Saw that 81%. Third, tied for third at the second position. Well, hits rolls to the other side. Leaves China lying 2, but both in the 12-foot.
And I really like this call here to go under the corner guard with the draw. We've seen so many teams try and hit and roll there. And the most important thing for Denmark is to keep rocks in play. And draws are the best way to do that. And this is a beautifully swept shot by Team Denmark. Well thrown, well swept. As we take a peek in over onto sheet D and do a last shot update here in the Scotland-Switzerland game. Carrie Barr came up just a hair short in the second end on a draw against 1, allowing Switzerland the steal of 1 point to go up 3-0. And now she is drawing against 3 Swiss counters in the outside edges of the house here. Sweepers guiding her shot into the rings. She needs full 8 foot for her score of 1, which she does, and tightens that game up 3-1. Switzerland has the hammer in the 4th end.
Yeah, I get the force. Those are all in the 12 foot, so it wasn't a, I was facing 3, but had a lot of room in the rings to work with. So on the board, sometimes that's all you need. Just get that single and things change.
Yep. Just move the momentum a little bit over there for Team Scotland.
Christine Svensson has had a busy curling season. Played at the World Juniors. Unsuccessful there. A disappointing finish, not winning a game, but a good experience. And now here at a World Championship, struggling as well with this Denmark team. But I was told you got to live it to learn it.
You got to live it to learn it. And at her young age, she is 20. I think she has another year of junior eligibility left. I would imagine that if given the opportunity, she would better her performance. Heading back to juniors as a skip. And if she gets a chance to be back here at women's, this experience here in St. John will serve her very well.
And her shot was good enough to get in there. 4 shot stone. China has 4 in the rings as that one crashes on the guard. Now Denmark go to work, try and be aggressive, try and score some points.
Yeah, it is a difficult setup for Denmark. That lone yellow counter back there, completely wide open, and this entire side of the ice blocked.
Denise Dupont, 63%.
Yeah, looking to throw a double takeout here. I think this may bounce one of the red ones into scoring position here.
Mullen will pinball off it.
And they get a little bit of a fun break on round things hitting round things.
I don't think they could have looked at that one and known it was going to do.
Yeah, no, that was a pretty unpredictable little bounce. Here we get to see this action on red into red, back into yellow, and tick, tick, spin.
Oh, very nice. Trying to pick up her play and made a nice shot last end there to lie 2, but where the shooter went, it was unfortunate.
Yeah, that just, I mean, that was always one of those options with the 3 reds out in front, the way they were lined up, that you would get a little bit of action. I thought the 1 red would bounce into the rings, and it tried, but the yellow shooter popped it back out again. Yilun Zhang will be playing a takeout here. I don't believe she's going for a double. This one's really curling on them, really curling.
Got to try and hold it to get rid of it. They'll catch it too thin for the double, which was tough. It's only line 1, and Denmark can split it. We'll look over Canada, Germany, 3rd end, and it's those red stones that I think caught Rachel Homan on her first. She crashed on a guard, showed some frustration, which means chance for Germany. Megan Una Lehmann to score the first 2 over on Shide. I've only seen 1 team come out on top with the red stones on that sheet. It's all about managing what you have, and I think by now teams have seen it a few times as that one comes down. So 2 for Germany, 3-1 after 3. They try to play spoiler and knock off the Canadians.
And back on our feature sheet, excellent shot by Denise Dupont to freeze and create distance between the 2 Team Denmark counters there in the back of the rings. With just a simple exchange of shots, Denmark will get their 2 and be back in this game. That last Chinese stone, though, the one that, the second stone thrown by the third, I think that might have picked. That is the first time in all the games we've seen Team China play where you had the absolute panic sweep call, where there was a high-pitched scream. I think something happened there that they did not expect, because that didn't start straight out of hand.
Weren't on it the whole way.
Yeah, so I think, you know, might have just grabbed something in the ice, moved a little sharply.
And they're right on the nose, Sedye Louis.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Sedye needs to do in this situation. She needs to keep her shooter there. Force Team Denmark to hit and stick, make a shot.
And if they do, does that leave a double?
Well, it'll allow them, for certain they're climbing the rings. So with each stone, you're moving farther up the rings and improving the angle on hitting and rolling over to the other Danish counter.
Again, lower numbers for the tournament for Madeline. She won't be happy. She's at the bottom of the list for the fourth stone throwers.
Just slid a little tight, and in this curly spot here, oh, that's just...
And hits, slides through. Those are the shots, the half shots that leaves you chances to score 2.
Yep, that spot just curls a lot there, and any kind of soft release or inside tight slide, your sweepers are not going to be able to hold it without a tremendous amount of weight.
They're taking a close look, thinking something was under it as well.
Yeah. So if teams have a situation like that, the front end needs to do an excellent job of cleaning the path all the way down the ice. They need to be really aware that there may be something happening with ice conditions, or maybe just some dirty footwear from one of the players, leaving some kind of debris.
Here wants to get rid of that one.
And she does.
Good recognition, knowing that nose would do it for them near the back of the rings to get rid of it. Lie 2.
Yeah, a smile as Team China kind of escapes another end here. Madeline Dupont needs to draw the 8-foot for a single point here in the fourth end.
Indlægget i træningen, var det ikke de her 10-15? 15. Ja. Jeg tror også 15. Bare den er herude, så er den 15 god. Ja.
So 8-foot or better, as we've seen a few times, facing multiple counters. Had chances to set things up, let them slip away, but looking to get on the board.
This one looks
Benson
a little
and Knudsen.
hot.
Nothing yet. Sedye Louis ready to go for China and doesn't need to. It slides through on its own. The missed hit, the missed draw means a steal of 2 and a 5-0 China lead through 4 ends of play.
Nej, jeg tænker altså... Den kører også det er lige ud af hos 稍微简单一点，但不是说咱不打，因为咱前5局咱状态都好，能打咱就尽量把比分拉开。这边的话还是注意点，行。
And welcome back to our feature game this morning. Team China versus Team Denmark. And the story of today's game is a tale of two skips. Sedia Louis from China is making almost all of her shots, and Madeleine Dupont from Team Denmark is really struggling with some execution. There's been some great opportunities for Team Denmark the last couple of ends, so that's very encouraging. So hopefully Madeleine will be able to get her team set up into these good positions again and finally come through with a couple of shots and capitalize. Team China, with the 5-point lead playing the fifth end, will want all of the play in the scoring area. When you're up in the score, you put your rocks in. That's right. When you're up, you're in. When you're down, you're out.
Of the race.
Yes.
Well, look over Switzerland, Scotland, and you see right in your front of your picture on the left, those two reds for Switzerland, hoping to bring them into play. Inya Felcher, in-turn double, and she has made a lot of these this week to score multiple points. Does she have it in her right now? Make the double. Curl up, get one, and just over the top. Brings Scotland right back within one as they get a steal. 3-2 after 4.
And on our feature sheet, after a little bit of a shaky start by lead Rui Wang from China, she has been putting rocks into great positions. She puts 2 into the rings here. They are slightly staggered. But great distance.
Well, looking to try and use those stones, a little roll off. So we look USA, Czech Republic. Czech Republic lying one back of the 4-foot. The US with that hammer and needs it now to draw for a single point. Unable to mount any sort of offense is Alison Pottinger, reeling in a 4-game losing streak. Well, just a clean, always a good sound, as they will guide that one with a clean down to the yellow. Alison Pottinger gets their 1, so a 2-point lead again against the Czech Republic. They're through 4 ends. The feature game, it was the peel out of that one. Take another look as they get the run back, peeling both of those out.
And the bonus pick on the stone in the back of the rings. Great shot there. The one good thing for Denmark is that that corner guard is still up there. So as we get a look at Christine Svensson here, we saw the disappointment on her face. Christine's got a little bit of a habit that we picked up on yesterday, where when she slides out, she does not look at the target. She takes her eye off the target for too long a period of time. And I think that's one of the reasons why she's struggling here on her line of delivery. She's throwing great weight at shots, Luke, but just having a little bit of a struggle on line. We'll see if we can get a look at that on her next shot. So double peel coming from Jinli Louis.
Trying to clear the front, get rid of them all, and
no problem
done
at this point. She throws that big weight very accurately.
And no choice down 5-0, just having to put the corner guard out in front. And now
So
watch the eyes here.
Yeah, keep him on the target, Christine. Keep him. Oh, no, no, no. And yeah, that's just too long of looking down at your hand. You really need to keep those eyes on the target. That's not to say you can't make shots by doing that, but it definitely makes it a little more difficult to hold your line of delivery when you take your eyes off your target. She comes up with a nice shot.
Well, one of the younger players on this team, obviously, as we said, played in the juniors, but Denmark has 11 curling clubs dedicated where curling's played, and it's over 1,000 registered Danish curlers and 4,000 non-registered. So the sport is growing there as well. Of course, a few years ago in Esbjerg,
and
the Worlds, as we see the flash.
Yeah, just misses that corner guard. So an opportunity here for Denmark. Denise Dupont really needs to capitalize on this. With a draw behind. And she's been playing very well this game.
They've had numerous chances in this one. Another chance to be aggressive and an offensive shot.
And the sweepers don't want to even clean this rock. There they go. There they go. That's nice. Hang on.
It just does.
Yeah, and even though that rock is not first count, it is in a good spot. China's going to try and peel it out of the rings. Going through some options here. They've ended up deciding their shot one. They are going to draw in the rings. This isn't my favorite option here, Luke. There's lots of chatter on this.
So the freezing to a stone back 12 foot.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where, you know, I would, there we go. We've got the third coming down. She's going to remind her skip that they're up by 5, I think. Up by 5. And they might want to peel that corner guard. And the skip wins out.
Well, just from motion in the room, they talked about that outturn side, run to go make a play to remove that stone in the rings. That if they do crash on the guard, it could go on to theirs in the 8 foot.
Yeah, but I think they just play the straight peel. You're up by 5 points. I know it's early in the game. You're still in the first half of the game, so you don't want to give a score of 2 away. But based on what we've seen up till now, Denmark is having a difficult time capitalizing on opportunities. So
well, right down to it. Just a little roll off. Is that enough now for Denmark to take advantage?
I mean, Denmark was always going to just draw underneath the corner guard again there. That's one of the things that I think, yes, China outcounted the second shot in the back of the 12 foot, but now they've helped build a wall back there. And I think one of the things to remember when you're up in the scoreboard is that rocks in play help the other team. They help the team that's down in the score.
And this one, more weight again, trying to use that backing. A little tap, but rolls off. So second shot, but wide open. No real doubt now what China will play, hitting that stone that's in the open.
Yeah, now in skips rocks, you're gonna hit the things in the rings, counting anything in the rings, but
do you want to stay here, or would you rather roll out?
you know, this is a situation where I think you might want to roll into the middle a little bit, but it's going to be tough to roll out, actually. So they switch the turn from the far end when the skip gets to the hack and takes a look at the port she's going through.
It's always a different look from the other end of what you see and what looks more natural. So the intern, Sedye Louis. Well, little roll in, and we'll sit 1, 2, 3.
That's a nice shot. I think Madeline Dupont needs to come around that top 8-foot rock of China. She can always play the hit back there, the same one that Sedye Louis just played. She'll have to play the other turn. Maybe not.
Man kan sige, det ville være det bedste, men så vil hun sikkert formentlig lægge den herover i den side. Tror du ikke? Ej, det tror jeg ikke. Det tror jeg ikke, den tager. Okay. Den kommer ikke til at ligge bedst, den der. Det var så, jeg tænkte, det har noget åbent. Hvis at... Ja, det er selvfølgelig rigtigt. Men, ja, jeg kan godt... Men, altså, vi snakker lidt om sådan der, eller sådan der, ikke? Ja. Om en hakfra. Ja. Sådan her. Ja, det helst der. Ja, det kan jeg godt forstå. Lige så skal hun skyde på sin egen der.
A little bit of discussion how they want to go about playing that. Broom back there, to me, shows playing on that back one behind the tee line deep in the rings. Even if you make this perfectly, there's going to be an out for China. Could hit and roll off that top one. You could straight draw still.
Yeah, this is... I think looking for a way to still use the corner guard. Maybe a little too late here for Team Denmark, but she's on the top one.
Well, she make that hit and roll. And that'll sit for second shot. Don't believe that's what they're calling with the reaction and the way they called the line.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but with that nice soft weight, it gave him some options. So China sitting shot one in that back 8-foot is going to do everything they can to create as much separation between these two rocks here as possible. So Sedye Louis will be drawing to the far side of the rings. She needs to be a little bit better than half in the 8-foot. And
let's join in.
They love to join in the sweep, and I don't think it's actually necessary on this shot. This is a great opportunity for your front end to do what they do best.
Well, that's a pretty good spot. They go to the side. That was a I think Denmark has to look and see if they can try and play the double down 5-0.
Yeah, I think they need to try it. The one challenge with this, with trying it, is that's likely game. If you don't make this. It's a tough angle.
So the final stone upcoming, in China Line 2 leads 5-0 in the game. So throwing the out turn will come into this one. Got to catch it thin, very thin. Redirect onto that other red.
Yeah, you really only need to hit. You can't get to the handle part of the stone. That's how you got to look at it. That's how you got to call it as a sweeper. It's just granite hitting granite on the edge, no handle. They're close, they're close, they're close.
Get one, make the second one, and stick it there. Look at the two, the thin double. Madeline Dupont has to make a tough one to score 2, but she's on the board now. 5-2, we'll head to the break with that score. And on that note, fantastic double by Madeline Dupont.
So we get a look at the first end situation. Sedia Louis forced to draw for her single point. Just needs a bit of the 8-foot, and she gets that against 2 Danish counters. And the fourth end, Madeline Dupont needs to hit the 8-foot against 2 Chinese counters and just slides through the rings, a little bit of overthrow, and a big steal of 2 points for Team China. In the fifth end, Team Denmark looking again at 2 Chinese stones in a very difficult stagger. Madeline Dupont attempting a touch weight double takeout, and she sticks it for a score of 2 and to change the momentum going into the fifth end break. China still leads and has the hammer after 5.
I'll look in Switzerland, Scotland, and see that the Scotland stone on the button and a lot of red in there. Is there room to get rid of it? Benia Felcher looking to stay with just that one loss. Gave up a steal, and there's a possibility to get this one. Punch it out, avoid the backing. Will use their red, punch it through, and look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the fifth. A handful for the Swiss as they get out to a big 8-2 lead and looking to move to 7-1. Switzerland will play Sweden tonight as we look at the other scores. Canada, Germany 3-3 after Germany forced to 1 in the fifth. The U.S. extends their lead now at 4-1 over the Czech Republic. And as you saw, 8-2. The Swiss lead Scotland.
能搁到这个区域那最好，但是不能到这儿，这儿不行，这就没压准，明白了吗？所以把球上来就放在这个区域上，然后第二个球这儿就可以，OK， 这是要打的啊。这场地呢。
If we just hit ours, that's good too. No, I know, because it curled like crazy right there. More than I've ever seen it before. Which was quite surprising. I know it's like a big, stupid mistake, but we just never expected to curl so much because we gave ice just out of 4 foot.
They made a really good shot when they made that hit and roll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think we should go. I think we should go for it a bit. Put pressure on them. See if we can get back in the game.
We'll look at the stats in the first 5. Big advantage in the draw game for China, 92% to 76. Obviously, those 4 stolen points jump out at you, and overall the percentage is not that different. The hit's a little lower for China. They have had some mistakes. Denmark's had opportunities galore in the game, but haven't been able to finish off an end. So that's where we sit after 5 ends. All kinds of colors out in the stands here. Obviously a Canadian fan. And the school kids coming in, cheering on. All kinds of nations, including the Canadian side, but they all had a project where they drew posters for each nation, so some schools have picked up another nation to cheer for. As we get set for the second half of this one, 5-2, China leads. The great double by Madeline Dupont keeps them in this one. A miss there. And they're still not on the board, and a steal, another steal, but gets the 2, and they'll need 2 centerline guards. Needs to stop out in front, and it will stop just in time. Seen a few different strategies from China. This is one to draw to the open side. You can draw behind the center. They talked about going to the wide. And now they're going to go behind the center. Not going to play the tick. That's another shot possibility. So Ray Wang in this 6th end to play. Just trying to go top 4 foot. He's had a few stones in the game. Slide deep. This one won't get buried, but goes top 4. Lena Knudsen, 95% on the game.
She's been putting the rocks exactly where asked all game. Really well-placed double guard position. One tight and one long, one in front of the other.
%. Ray Wang. That's the 2 centerline guards in great position now. Trying to bring a second one in, force Denmark to have to move their stones in order to get into the 4 foot and set things up.
That's a really nice shot by Team China. I like this call to freeze, set one down in the rings, use those Chinese stones against China. Christine Svensson verifying weight. She doesn't like it out of her hand. You can tell she's a wonderfully animated player out there. It actually looks like a nice shot. She is being a little hard on herself.
Yeah, just wants to come into that pocket and little tap, roll to a freeze.
That's a great shot.
It's going to be a couple of stones later on in the end. You're going to have to move those, but it's in a position where it stays in play.
Yeah, and it's something that, I mean, if Team China wants to get rid of that rock, it's going to take 2 shots to get rid of. So,
so off goes the top guard.
Single peel is executed. And Team Denmark is electing to have their second, put her second stone right on top of her first one. So sweepers just waiting for the curl to happen. Now they're bringing it into the rings.
I'll try to put it right on the top of their first one. Very nice. Able to put it, good line right on top. Poses a bit of a problem for China, does it not?
It does, and Sadia Louise gonna handle that problem by not dealing with it. That's actually a great choice. She may be running this one in, but she is going to take care of the front. She's been given an opportunity here by Team Denmark coming into the rings to play the peel on this second guard. Now I think it's time for Denmark maybe to tap something, but again, it's still early. They do need to tuck this rock to the inside of the nose on this guard. I mean, on this draw.
73 on the game so far. Denise Dupont. I'll try and get by the top one, just that little touch. They get by, they're in a better position now. It's still 1-2 for China. Problem is playing in the rings this early. Thought we might have saw another guard just sort of push it later in the end.
Yeah, force China to deal with rocks in front of the rings. So this is that tricky inside out turn here, and the third wisely asked for a little extra ice. She knows it moves into this corner.
Yilun Yang asked for a little more ice and maybe put the weight up a little bit also. Lose one of her own in the process of getting rid of that yellow stone.
So Madeline Dupont has asked her sister Denise, the third for Team Denmark, to throw hack weight just to move this rock out of the rings. It's curling really hard. Denise already is looking disappointed. Sweepers trying their best to hold it. And they do. Ends up being a really good shot here.
They have that lone red stone surrounded.
Great sweeping. Really, really, really working hard to hold that line. Just the slight tick. Yilun Yang asked to throw big weight at this. She needs to move some granite.
Well, spreads those yellows around. Doesn't hold the shooter on top. Gets rid of one. So facing two, and they don't mind keeping things open like this. So try and clear it up.
Yeah, and things are looking a little bit simpler for Team China now.
Vi kan jo ikke undgå, at der ligger et eller andet trippel-ting. Nej, måske. Men vi prøver at give den et skub, ikke? Okay, hvad far?
So, Team Denmark is going to try and draw around their shot in the top of the 8-foot.
Ja, så er det 0,5, hvis det er 10. 0,5-10.
Well, Madeline Dupont as a skip knows it's a lot of all or nothing shots. The misses cause the low percentages.
Yeah, and this one looks a little heavy again. Needs to bite up. They might be letting it curl into that one on the top. It's a wise choice. That would have gone...
That was headed for the hacks, I think.
Yeah, pretty deep. It may have hung on in the back, but... But if she'd thrown the right weight, that was not nowhere near enough ice to make that shot. So Sedia Louis, looking at 3 Danish stones in the 8-foot, is going to try and remove at least a couple of them with this rock.
Would love to roll towards the other one. Sedia Louis, 5-2 lead, 85%. Roll right into them, punch the one out, sit on the corner and sit shot.
Yeah, it's a very nice shot. Smiles, thanking her sweeper.
So Madeline Dupont, try and make this hit and stick around. She rolls out. Chance to bring that other one into play.
Yeah. And no matter how good she makes this, it'll leave the 4-foot open for a draw.
Well, it hits, rolls off to the side.
And
facing 3.
Yep, she's going to play the hit. She's got catchers all on the outside there, so she's got to get just to nose or better. You know, this is a pretty large margin for error takeout. She can roll all the way to the other edge of the 8-foot if she hits on the high side. If she crosses over, she's got catchers on the other side.
So final stone, Sedia Louis.
Nice control weight.
Looking to hit, stick, keep her lead.
Just clean now.
Man, spot on. Hits, rolls to the forefoot. It is good. A single in the 6th for China. They extend their lead now 6-2. We are through 6 ends of draw 12.
现在是领先4分，打第7局了吧？第6局。对。第7局。sorry， 打第7局还剩4局，但是这个领先，咱还是进啊。行。然后跟他打清球。行吧。行。来，1、2，加。
Well, as we come back, USA, Czech Republic, US up 4-1. Anna Kubaskova, left-handed skip. This team from the Czech Republic in her 2nd World Championship. It's a chance, look like a blank, we'll end up nosing it. And it will be a 4-2 lead. US gets the hammer back. The US needs to win. The near must-win territory now as they come in at 3-4. China continues to win. They've won 5 straight, starting 0-2. They lead 6-2, a commanding position in this game. See how many stones they want to keep in play, if they bring the first 2 in or if they maybe throw 1 away.
Yeah, and this stone from Li Ruiwang slides just deep. She knows the air is in the ring. She needs to be in. She's up in the score. She needs to be in. And just overthrows it a hair. Puts it to the back of the 8-foot.
Well, the corner guard might see that second one come to the top part to protect it for China after this, depending on where the corner guard sits down.
Yeah, this one's sliding just into the rings. That's unfortunate.
Makes it difficult to set up.
Yeah, she's really played a very good game, and that's an unfortunate miss there.
It was good to see Denmark come out of that 5th end break, and they put a full end together. They made a lot of shots.
Yeah.
And they forced China to take their one. Just a case of too little, too late, and playing it down 4. They got a long way back.
Nice hit and roll there by Team China. They put a rock back in the control position, top 4.
Switzerland, Scotland now, and Scotland trying to come back. They're down 6 after the 5-5. And Carrie Barr looking draw for her 2nd point after a blast by Binya Felcher. Didn't get rid of it. Carrie Barr just guiding this one in. Nicely done for Scotland. Bounces back. Hey, all you can do. Let's come back out of the break, score a deuce, and they're down 4 after 6.
Yeah, for teams that are looking to come back in a game, we've got a couple of those situations happening out here. It's really just about creating simple opportunities and maybe getting a miss here and there.
Again, just moving, trying to move these corner guards around.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Don't leave them on the same side. Make your opposition think about how they're going to get rid of you, how they're going to move that stone. Sajia Louis puts very tight ice up here on this straight side. And with that, they get the miss they were looking for.
Just sets it a hair probably to flash that one.
Lots of rotation on that one. Maybe a little bit of outward momentum. And you see it go just by.
And we've seen that from this Chinese side. They'll have the lead trying to defend it, and they'll get away with some of them, but they've had some slip-ups where they miss the peel, they nose a peel, giving some life to their opposition.
Yeah, and as they move through into post-round robin play, hopefully for them, those shots they're going to need. They're going to need all those shots to
well, that one needed to stop, needed to be there, and won't even stay in the rings. Hangs onto that back line, so in play. Can't be happy with that result.
Yeah, just a little bit of an over-adjustment in her slide, right? She threw a perfect guard.
Canada, Germany now. And Canada, again, can't mount any offense with the hammer in this, just 1-2. And right now, Rachel Homan has the hit. It looks like she has to roll a little bit in order to get her single point. Germany playing tough against the Canadians here, looking for their second win. Trying to make the hit. And the roll, bounce off the yellow. Does it go too far? They take a look. Germany indicates one yellow, and it is. After a close look, 5-3, they kick them away. Germany steals one. Rachel disappointed with that. Meanwhile, here in our feature game, Denise Dupont trying to play the freeze on the top one.
Just over curls a hair. China with an excellent call there to roll that shooting rock all the way out of play. So a lot more line on this one. They changed the ice a little bit. I'm not sure that that first one was the ice. That might have been the thrower. And she adds more weight to this shot and just overthrows it by a bit. So with this opportunity, Sajia Louis gets a chance to either freeze to a rock here in the top button. She can throw a guard, put something in the top 12. I think she should be in the rings with some separation. And with those two, actually 3 misses in a row by the Danish team, Madeline Dupont's going to have to come up with 2 really big shots to score her deuce.
I see this a lot of times where they react early, all 3 of them sweep, and then it ends up only being the skip sweeping, or the person that throws it sweeping it.
Yeah, and then they drag it a little too far, actually. They're still happy. The front end's still happy.
Well, they made the skip sweep a little bit.
Liu and Wang smiling, appreciative of the extra help.
Well, you know, Anne, it can be a long game sometimes as a sweeper, and sometimes just one of those games where you're almost it seems every rock you're going end to end.
Yeah, there are games when you are sweeping an awful lot. But, you know, after all the years of playing front end, I never minded that. It's one of the things I loved. One of my mottos is, you know, you want all 4 of you to play all the shots. So you don't necessarily want to have to pound every rock from the let-go, but you do want to involve your sweepers in the shots. And the last 2 stones for Team Denmark, there's been very little sweeping happening. So Madeline forced to a takeout here.
A little push on the end of that one.
Yeah.
Generate some extra weight. And we'll just remove the 1. Shooter rolls off to the side. China Lang 2. Last stone up coming for him. Had to curl a bit more to make that first double, or thinner to try and move all of them.
Yeah, so Sejia Louis from China here, she's got a couple of options. She can tap her own up and make it tighter to the forefoot. I think that would invite another try at a triple. Or she can put one just biting the top 12 anywhere near the center line and force Team Denmark to draw the full 4 for a single point.
Well, comes into a spot where that triple is real tough to cut that one over. They leave 3/4 of that one open, top of the forefoot. Went out, looking to draw for 1.
Skip Madeline Dupont, her last stone here in the 7th end. She's had a little trouble with draw weight. This is the biggest one yet. There's lots of line.
Well, needs the forefoot. Will it come down? Will it catch the forefoot? Slides past, going to be a steal. How many? And it will stop to cut it down to just 1 for China. But another stolen point as China continues to add up those 1s. It is now a 7-2 lead for China over Denmark. Well, back inside Harbor Station, you're watching live coverage of the 2014 Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Luke Coley joined with Ann Swisshelm, and this has been a case of China taking advantage of numerous Denmark mistakes and making shots when needed.
China has just played a very steady game. Lots of shots by the Chinese skip versus lots of half shots and misses by the Danish skip. There were several times during the game where Team Denmark had nice situations set up that they just could not capitalize and finish on.
We'll compare the numbers of all positions here. You see 91% for Knudsen. Great numbers there. The hit. Ray Wang had one wide open miss in the first.
Yeah.
And that will bring her numbers down. Lead's obviously throwing more draws than hits.
Yeah, they don't throw. I think the lead for China has only thrown 2 hits this game. So
both in the first end.
So in a nice corner from lead for Team Denmark. Lena Knudsen, who's had a near perfect game until the last end where she slipped one corner guard into the rings.
So a 5-point lead, 1 stone in the house. They're gonna throw this one through.
Yeah, playing the 8th end, 5-point lead. The math is very much in your favor. And the only thing that'll really hurt you is complete misses and you helping the opposition.
Well, that's what Denmark is counting on, is Lene Knudsen. Try and get the 2 corners out in front. Had a flash on one of the peels not long ago. They'll look to remove that. China will try to eliminate that from their game. And China has to be careful, make sure they finish this game off. They know they have an important game coming up tonight against Russia, but still need to finish this one off and have the momentum going in their favor heading in. But perfect pair from the Danish lead, put those ones in a perfect spot.
Yeah, she's really started to take command of this ice and settle in so nicely.
So peels the corner guard. We look at second numbers, and There's advantage the Chinese side. Perfect numbers on the draws, 82-79 overall. Christine Svensson
looking to replace that corner guard.
been very animated with some of her shots and her reactions upon release.
Yeah, she's a little tough on herself. With that slight stagger, this gives Team China a great chance at a double peel. And we know Jin Lee can throw the weight. She just set it out a little bit on this one.
Well, don't want a complete miss. Want to make sure they get rid of one.
Yeah, you just saw it. Just popped off her hand a little bit. She straightened it out a little bit. That's the second end in a row for that to happen.
And it's happened when she's tried to pick up her weight a little bit more. She can throw, just have to trust that slide and let it go.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you get a little anxious on those double peels. You see them, you can feel that they're possible, and you just overthrow it a hair and straighten out that already straight running peel weight. Sweepers working really hard to get this around that corner, and they do.
Now they just need it to sit. And where will it sit? Goes to the tee line, just beyond, back 12 foot.
Perfectly buried. That was a great shot. So this is an improvement from the last time we saw a missed peel for Team China. I like them sticking with this. Great shot there.
Yeah, just really simplifying things. Time to compare the thirds, and Denise Dupont struggled with her draws, and it's made some key. Team China at the third position as well.
Yeah, the real story there is the trouble with the draw weight.
If you don't have your draw weight, you're not going to win many games at World Championships.
Yeah, it's really hard to hit your way into offense. It's possible, but it is not the preferred method of scoring.
Especially if your draw weight's heavy, and we've seen that. You can't bring a stone back up into the rings, but you can tap a stone into the rings.
Yes.
As we look over Canada, Germany, Rachel Holman facing two German stones. Intern, and this side will curl on. She playing the intern, trying to play a little tap to get one and cut into this lead. Have not been as crisp as we've seen in their last couple of games.
Yeah, this is a tough sheet of ice and a tough set of stones as we've seen all day. I mean, all week. So Rachel really needs to get this point here to change the momentum.
Has to tap and stick around. Will just use enough. So they get one. They're through 7. 5-4. Germany leading Canada. Germany playing very loose, very relaxed. They know though 6 losses, they're just playing spoiler.
Yeah, it's really about that team getting some confidence, getting some experience at this level. It's a brand new skip. Lots of players are playing new positions. They do look loose over there today, and Rachel's got the pressure of a big home crowd here. Sometimes that can help you. Sometimes that can up the intensity.
With those logjam of teams with 1 and 2 losses, every game vital. Canada will play back-to-back games today. They'll play a 2-loss team in Korea this afternoon.
Yeah, a hard-surging team who's been putting lots of rocks in play and scoring some big ends on teams.
And they've shown they can play at this level and make it to playoffs. Just ask the teams in 2012. As they draw in 2nd and 3rd for Denmark. So room to make a double here for China.
Yeah, I think the skip here has a good chance at a double. She made an interesting choice on their last rock by hitting the one wide open in the back 8-foot instead of the one on the side back 4.
Well, get one, get the second. Very nice. That made look easy.
That's a really well-played shot by the young Chinese skip.
Doesn't look like it's her first World Championship, does it?
It does not. But with that, we go back to the first rock thrown of the end by Chinese lead, by the Chinese lead, and it slipped just behind the tee line. And this gives Madeline DuPont and her Danish team, I think, a really good chance at freezing a rock down there and still scoring 2 points this end.
Trying to set up a skips deuce, and you saw the numbers there. Tells the story pretty clearly. Skip Madeline DuPont is having a game to forget. Has a chance, though, to get 2. Make a nice freeze.
This looks very close. Weight looks good. They just need to keep the line. It's over curling just a hair.
So the freeze pretty close, and looking on sheet C, the USA, Czech Republic, US 6 and 2 has to win this one. As they lie 1. So looking at the angles, the yellow Anna Kubaskova, the final stone of this end, has to play this raise, I think, and get a roll with both that yellow and the shooter to try and score 2. So play the short raise, kick it in. They'll get just 1. Shooter doesn't roll in. So 6-3. Now, after 8 ends of play, the U.S. has the hammer, looking to even their record at 4-4.
Well, our feature game skip from China executes a beautiful hit, forcing Team Denmark to a single point here in the 8th end. And that single point will only come if Madeline DuPont makes her draw here just a little bit better than full 8-foot.
And where the broom is now, just a player that doesn't have that total confidence.
Yeah, she's playing the backing, I think. Now she's thinking about the hit.
Det er mig lige meget. Det var bare, hvis den her var lidt svær, den her indlægsfart her, det kan her undervist være. Lige lavet den perfekt til klatten. Men så lad os tage den samme vej, tror jeg.
Yeah, this is, but she may also be thinking this is an easier way to make this shot. There's a catcher, there's lots of rings to roll to if you hit just inside of the nose on this rock.
Oh, we'll find out here. Madeline Dupont has the hit and stick to score one, make this a 7-3 game. And we'll make the hit. There's that catcher. And it'll sit, get the one. Denmark gets one, down 7-3 now. 2 ends remaining here and draw 12. The Ford World Women's Curling Championship.
Skal vi sige noget? Skal vi høre noget sammen? Fordi ellers går de med. Nå, jeg troede, skal vi sige det? Så tænkte jeg, nej, skal vi sige noget sammen? Okay.
Well, a final out on the ice. It is Switzerland defeating Scotland. The 5 in the 5th, the difference there. So Switzerland is alone atop the standings with that victory. 10-5 over Scotland. Switzerland moves to 7-1. Scotland drops another one and falls to 2-6. One of the 3 6-1 teams out of the draw. This has a bye this morning, that being Sweden, and Canada in action right now in a battle with Germany. China trying to move up, keep things going, get a 6th straight win.
Yeah, they are on a significant roll, and their play here today has shown why they've been on that roll, making lots of shots. And with their 4-point lead, playing the 9th end.
See the tick shot, and China has a very difficult finish ahead of them. They have Russia, Canada, and Sweden to finish out round robin play.
Yep. So working really hard to hold the line on this. They just want to touch that Danish stone in front of the rings, move it over, and that is a fantastic shot.
Get the shooter out too would be even better. Then there's nothing on the side for your peels.
Shooter goes all the way out of play. That is a...
Ray Wang with a brilliant shot.
She doesn't want to smile just yet. She's got another rock to throw. She'll probably have to do it again. So keeping her concentration over there on the sideboards.
As a lead, is it frustrating when you put up the, get your guards in good position and then the other one makes a perfect tick shot?
Yes, it is frustrating. There is no doubt about it. But given Team Denmark's situation here and the scoreboard the way it is, there's nothing you can do other than keep throwing these guards up there. And a great sweep by Team Denmark. You hear the...
Get it just over the hog line.
Sigh of relief. Looks like this one they're going to play into it. So Team China is going to play this stone a little bit differently.
This will be the straighter of the two sides.
Got a little more weight.
And won't have any of it. The long guard I was wondering if they would just ignore it anyway because of the length of it.
Yeah. I think it's worth making an effort at that tick shot. So. So Team Denmark needs another guard here. They need 2 guards, one on top of the other. This one needs to be tight to the rings. They need to drag this one as far as they can. Line's really good. Just losing a little bit of speed there at the end of that sweep.
Thought they'd, looking at the angle of the double peel, I thought they'd peel the tight one.
Yeah, with that one being so far out there. But since it's only halfway, it's hard to put a second guard up there for Team Denmark. The one challenge here is that you've got a bounce possibility over on the sideboards.
Well, try and get the double peel. I'll make it, but leave the one high out in front.
Lots of sweeping. They get right to the nose of that rock. And they do make the double peel. That was not the call, but that was a great result. Team Denmark's going to have their second put another guard up, nice and tight to the rings, tucked just underneath that Chinese stone.
Again, wanting that separation. Christine Svensson able to get that one tight to the rings.
The Chinese skip lining up this double peel again, just checking her angles, making sure she understands.
Well, this time trying to go over the top of the second one. Cross the face of it, make the double peel, get the triple peel, roll in. Not quite.
What a shot. What a great shot. I'd love to see a smile. That's just a fantastic shot.
Well, look at these coming to your picture. Get the one, clip the second one, catch the third one. Doesn't quite go into the rings. I'm a little disappointed it didn't go in for her.
That's an outstanding shot. There should be zero disappointment there for anyone on Team China. And that's a really spectacularly great shot considering that she's missed a couple of peels in a row and really was looking for a well-made shot there, and she got not just a well-made shot, but an outstandingly made shot.
Yilun Yang, now just the single peel. Second did the hard work, now just the single peel.
Just a clean, very controlled peel all the way down the ice. Denise DuPont looking for a guard. And Team Denmark really looking for a curling miracle in order to steal 4 points.
Yeah, it would need a lot of mistakes and a lot of help. And they need to execute perfectly.
Yeah, crazy things happen in curling, though. So
so the peel of that guard.
Well made. Sweepers were superfluous, unnecessary on that shot. The third had it all taken care of by herself. So no guards except for the one corner guard over there on the triple peel. So Team Denmark is going to use what they've been given, and this is what they've got.
Trying to draw behind. A very tough stone to draw behind because it's so tight to the rings and on the wide side of the ice. Pretty good effort, but still available. China to make the hit. Take that one out.
Yeah, still available. China will play this tight, as we like to say. If they happen to tick that guard in front of it, that's an okay outcome. Very acceptable outcome.
So first to skip stones. On it right out of her hand.
Working hard to get past that corner guard.
And they'll get by. Little roll. Sit one.
And they stick around the rings. That was a really good shot there by Team China.
So gets by, makes the hit. Have to like the way they are playing heading into their final 3 round robin games. They know they'll have to be as good, if not better, in order to knock off some of those other playoff contenders.
Yeah, I think the front end for China really needs to tighten up some of their rock placement. It needs to be very specific, very accurate if they're gonna contend with the more experienced teams in Team Canada, Team Sweden, Team Russia.
So Madeline Dupont trying to play the freeze.
And this looks just too heavy. This will give China a free draw for a second point, and what I can only imagine to be the last rock of this game.
It's not necessary at this point-wise, but if they did need a 3, there's that stone tight to the rings. This will just be the straight draw. Not needing the extra point.
No. Two points here gives them a really commanding lead on the scoreboard.
Well, just a light dusting as this one comes in. The arms are out already from Madeline Dupont and Denise Dupont. Denmark concedes defeat and another victory. You can make it 6 in a row for China. It'll go down 9-3 as a final. China 6-2. Denmark falls to 1-7.
We get lots of high fives and smiles from Team China again.
I slid out like to the point where I wasn't going to make it.
We're going to take a look over on Sheet A. Since our feature game has ended, Team Canada in a battle with Team Germany. Germany up 1 point with the hammer, playing the 9th end. Skip Imogen Ona-Lehmann looking at some of her options. Canada playing the Redstones today. As you can see, there's some traffic in front of the rings.
Also dranbleiben und wissen. Wie willst? Wie? Ja. Wie? So.
So Karina Schulz, third for Team Germany, asked to play a double peel. She's hoping to pop this shooter through that hole, get rid of both red rocks. She's going to hang out there in front. Just needed it to curl up a little bit. This provides a great opportunity for Team Canada. Throw up a double guard here on shot stone, sitting above the tee line. Full 1 foot, or button as we call it. Emma Miskew, third for Team Canada. Reigning world bronze medalist. Kraviatsik and Weigel, front end for Team Canada. Waiting as long as they can, putting that stone in a perfect position. You can see the rock line up here. Double peel is tough. Run back is tough, but that's the option for Team Germany. And they're going to get the single peel on that shot.
Yeah, I like this. Okay. Hard to, yeah. Like you could rub off and do that.
Probably don't want to use a lot of time for discussion here.
Come down and see it.
What do you like?
this. Okay. Touch it. Okay. If it's over curling, this is good. Okay. We got to vary either one. If it's a little heavy and we just touch, it's not the end of the world. Okay. When she runs it,
So just like T-line weight.
back four is
Back
okay.
four. Do you like doing that now on your second?
Yeah, it's just not easy to throw one.
No, it's not.
Okay. So if we're deep on this one, it could be. I like coming
Okay,
in.
let's go Rach.
And I don't mind throwing a one and then doing this on my next. I kind of like doing it now. It's hard. It's not an easy run back. Okay.
Let's go.
So we're gonna go to this back 8. Yeah.
So Canada going through their 2 options, and when Rachel said, I don't mind throwing a one is a rock just over the hog line in the guard position. So a rock long from the rings in a protective spot. They've elected to go with the other option of drawing into the 4-foot. They like the way the angles would set themselves up here for a score of 1 or maybe 2. They think the run back is difficult for Team Germany.
Take her there.
Back 4, line's good. Line's good. Back 4. Line's good. Firing. Whoa, looks heavy. Back 8. Whoa. Whoa. No.
This one just running a bit on Team Canada, and just a little overthrown on that spot in the ice.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
It's exactly what I wanted to throw.
I thought you threw it absolutely
I
perfect.
thought it was a good throw. No idea.
That's really frustrating.
Yeah.
So you can see the disappointment on Rachel Homan's face, and the conversation that that happened. Just a little tricked by this ice over here on sheet A.
Seems to be quick everywhere over there.
So they're talking about the ice surface. Is there any frost? Is that any different over there? Different than the last time she threw it? So Team Germany going through their options here, trying to figure out what's best. They do have the lead. They do have the hammer. They've called a timeout. The coach comes out.
Ja. Ja, wir müssen halt verhindern, dass sie uns nochmal einen stiehlt, oder?
Einer ist ja nicht schlimm, weil schon im letzten End. 2 darfst du nicht.
Okay.
Eigentlich
Also, es ist eine gute, so ein Fries wäre natürlich auch cool.
Ja, genau.
Ja, weil dann kannst du nämlich einen draufjubeln und kriegst vielleicht beide weg.
Man selbst so.
Ja.
Genau.
Der könnte eigentlich ganz gut.
Ja.
Okay.
Und vorher hat er auch hierher gespielt.
Nice. Du hast mir Eis gegeben für die Dollys.
Vor der in dem End
Haben die haben viel gekörbelt, gell?
Ja, ja.
Gib mir mehr.
Ein Tick länger. So, machen wir so.
As we take a look over on the lone remaining game outside of Canada-Germany, Team USA with a 6-3 lead, throwing their last rock in the 9th end. Skip Allison Pottinger trying to play a draw tap against 2, and unfortunately it picked right out of hand. She said, whoa, it's got something. It's an unfortunate situation for Team USA on the last rock of the 9th end to give up a steal of 2 points, which pulls Team Czech Republic to within 1, playing 10 without the hammer.
U.S. still with control, but they need to make sure they just hold on to that one, have the hammer in a 1-point lead.
Yep, and that's we go back to our main game here that we're following. Pivotal shot for Germany, needs to curl. just don't get the angle they were looking for. They wanted that rock to sit on top of the Canadian shot stone.
Like just.
Yeah, Imogen Una Lehman in her 4th World Championship.
Here, Rach. Got it.
And that opens up a window of opportunity for Team Canada to throw a hit, even a double. They don't need to remove both yellow ones. Just hitting the one would put them in a really strong position.
Positive.
Hard sweep right out of hand for Team Canada. They need to get by the guard, and they do not.
They were looking to play that double, and it's on the guard. That one shouldn't have been a factor there.
And it chunks the guard. I mean, it must have been on it the whole way down the ice, Luke, with that kind of weight.
Yeah, if they would have got by, they would have picked their own out.
Yeah, that was, again, just massive disappointment on the face of Rachel Homan. With that, the way these angles are set, it is not a basic shot for Team Germany here. You know, I think they need to play the pick. Yeah, they can play it straight back and sit 1 and 2. But this is not a gimme shot with those rocks in the back of the forefoot.
No, and it's her stone that's causing part of the problem to make this shot. Well, not the game we've been following, but we've been keeping our eye over here, and Imogen's played very well. She's made some shots when needed.
Yeah, and as you can imagine, this crowd is very pro-Canada, and we've been hearing them moan and groan quite a bit through the microphones. So a frustrated Team Canada and a frustrated crowd here. And an excellent opportunity for Team Germany for a score of multiple points in the 9th end.
And we'll end up, worst case scenario, spilling that one out. And I think they decided to try and play the pick. Rachel comes back after her miss to find out she ends up stealing one on the mistake by Germany. And I think a sigh of relief for the Canadian skip, as they're all square playing 10.
Yeah, and an unfortunate jam for Team Germany there. So back here with Team Canada versus Team Germany. Final end of play. All tied up 5-5. Germany with the hammer.
That's quite the sequence of shots. You, Rachel Homan wreck on a guard and open things up for Lehman and Germany. And Lehman unable to come up with the shot at the end to score. And at that point wanted to score.
Yeah, a great opportunity to take 2 points. I think she just over-curled a hair there on that pick attempt. A nice guard placed by Lisa Weigel from Canada. Stella Heiss, Germany, asked to throw the tick shot here. Great shot by Germany. Fantastic sweep. Big smiles from Stella Heiss. She a sigh of relief.
Yeah, Tixa went off. Lisa Weigel's now got to put the center back out in front. Trying to find a spot to put this guard.
Just want to touch your center, Allie.
It's all there. No. Okay, it's crossing center. Hey.
So centerline guard.
Expertly put back in place by Lisa Weigel.
We're just coming around now.
So,
Play the one tick.
yeah, I like this call. And we check in on United States, Czech Republic live. This is the last shot of the 10th end for skip Allison Pottinger. She's facing a Czech counter in the back of the forefoot. She's navigating some guards in front of the rings.
And Tabitha Peterson slipping there as well and able to avoid not touching it. They got to get the forefoot.
You got to get past the guards in front.
And it will come up short.
Are you okay, Tim? You didn't hurt your elbow?
Yeah, and that'll be an extra end there. USA retains hammer. Pivotal game for the USA here. They really need to pull this win out.
And the come around comes up short, but it's better there than going deep in the rings for Stella Heiss.
Yeah, and Alison Kraviatsik, second for Team Canada, will be asked to put this rock top forefoot.
Guys, where is it?
Top 4 RT line.
So for all you young curlers out there, when you need to steal a point, your second rock really needs to be in the forefoot.
And that may be about a half a rock deep back button for Kraviatsik, but it's in a position that they can still steal with.
Still in a great position. Germany checking out the angles. They're going to play the peel on the top Canada guard there.
Lehman, first time skipping it, pardon me, at a world championship. And threw 4 stones when Andrea Schopp injured her knee prior to 2012.
Yes, an experienced player, but not an experienced skip here at this world level. So first time, you've got to do it the first time if you're ever going to do it again. So, and she's exhibited lots of confidence here in this game against Team Canada.
Line's tight.
Weight's good.
Gotta go line.
There. Tight.
Okay, over and off.
Whoa.
Keep it moving.
Well, they need to get this guard in position. Continue to
Easy, easy. It's there, it's there.
Oh.
protect the one they have on the button.
Yeah, nice throw. Nice throw. Nice communication coming down the ice to place that guard in a really great position. Germany second, asked to repeat the peel. Just cleaning down the ice.
On the goal, Moskowitz.
I've heard lots of good shots, Nikki, from the German team. Emma Miskew, third for Team Canada.
There's a number we haven't seen from her much.
Yeah,
that's
that's
68.
Very unusual. Emma Miskew sits atop the statistical standings for thirds here at the World Curling Championships. She is at an average of 85%, so 68 is very unusual.
Well, her low game, 74%. And with this one coming tight, you see any change or just still the straight peel?
I think still the straight peel. Keep things simple. You've always got that yellow rock there in the top of the 8-foot to run back at some point.
So we'll catch off that side one.
And Rachel is sweeping really hard on that shot because she wants the German team to have to stick around at some point if something untoward should happen, something unusual should happen. Emma Miskew asked to repeat that guard performance. So, Luke, with this sheet has been a tricky sheet. One side curls quite a bit. The other side very, very straight. And as we may have mentioned, these red rocks, this set of red rocks has been a challenge for almost every team who's played them. The only ones who've been victorious were Team Russia yesterday. And teams have switched them around. Talked a lot about them as they play them. And Team Canada struggling with that set as well.
I'm not sure what they're trying to initially play onto that one and overthrown and then trying to get a little rub. As we look at the standings, Switzerland with a win, so they're 7-1. Then we have Sweden and Canada. Canada trying to join Switzerland. Then China with their 6th straight winner at 6-2. US at 3-4 needs help and they need to win. They're in an extra end against the Czech Republic, who you see sit at 1-6. Germany as well at 1-6. So a couple of those one-win teams looking to play spoiler here in this draw.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that last shot by third Karina Scholz, which just sailed through the rings, didn't touch anything. I think Team Germany thought with the guard slightly over curling for Team Canada, and that being the curly side of the ice, that they had a chance to get that rock off the button. But this rock looks a little heavy, but it's curling up nicely. It's a great shot.
Well, and by Germany playing that, now they have to get into it. They have to try and make a play on those. They took their shot with that one. Miss it. Now it's up to Imogen Una Lehmann.
Yeah, and she's still got a little bit of this. She can still see a little bit of that stone. You can see just about a third of the rock.
So if they can get to the nose, a little tap, and outstanding game for German skip.
Just playing a nice control weight takeout here.
Well, it gets rid of one. Leaves that one firmly planted on the button.
Yep. And it gives Rachel Homan from Canada a chance to put
You gonna throw it the same? Yeah, it was all there.
this shot into a little bit better position. They want to overbury
Okay, let's go, Rach.
and make that short run back very difficult on the angle.
.58 on 6 draws, 65% on 13. Numbers I don't think Rachel has put up in a couple of years. Very lucky to still be in this game and playing a 10th end tied. Well, by over curling, as you said, Anne, now makes that angle raise so much more difficult.
Yeah, it might make it actually impossible. So I think Germany's going to play they do have the draw. They need to just move the Canada stone, the one that's behind the tee line, just a couple of inches, and keep the shooter there.
She's got a few millimeter window here where she has to be in order to make this shot.
Yeah.
So final stone of the 10th end, 5-5. Imogen Una Lehmann is the out turn. Draw to the button with a little tap. Well, they were sweeping it hard.
Looks a little heavy here.
Has to come down, has to tap it and sit there. Slides off of it. And Germany gives up the steal of 2. Canada escapes that one.
Yeah, that's a very disappointing finish for Team Germany. They had Canada on the ropes that entire game, and just a couple of last rock misses by the German skip in end 9 and 10, and
that's a tough one to swallow on that one, knowing you had Rachel miss a bad one in 9 and have a shot to at least score. But instead it goes the way of the Canadians. They are now tied with Switzerland at 7-1.
yeah, and all credit to Team Canada in the 10th end. They made a lot of shots and made the options for Team Germany very difficult. And from our feature game, the 6th end, Team China looking at 3 Danish counters in the rings. Skip, nice simple hit and roll for a single point. Danish skip Madeline Dupont needs to draw the 4-foot. A little bit better than half 4 to outcount 3 Chinese stones in the rings. She slips a little too far and gives up a steal of 1. And in the 8th end, Madeline Dupont looking for a score of 1, facing 3 red stones in the rings, and she executes the single takeout. But that would not be enough for Denmark as they give up a deuce in 9 and drop the game to China 9-3. China's win streak continues. It is now at 6.
On the other games going on here in draw 12, Canada, you saw, defeated Germany 7-5. Come from behind victory 6-6 in an extra. US and Czech Republic 10-5. Switzerland improves to 7-1 as they knock off Scotland. Well, you look at the up-to-date standings. Switzerland and Canada top at 7-1. Sweden with the draw off will be in action this afternoon. Then China at 6-2. Korea and Russia, who had byes, at 5-2 on the first page. Then the US at 3-4. Scotland with 2 wins. Latvia, Czech Republic, Germany, and Denmark all 1 win. How do you feel about 6 straight wins now?
就是先问你现在连续胜6场，你是什么样一个感觉
Feeling so good.
？Very good.
And is there any key to winning those 6 straight games?
他是问你说，你连续赢了6场球之后，你有觉得哪些东西是很重要的？
我觉得首先就是我们每一个人的个人感觉，再就是对于场地找场地，然后包括我们之间的这些配合，包括跟对手，只要是做好我们自己的，我觉得就够了。
Oh, first things they know that it's better and better, and team player play well, and they support each other, and they try best, do them best for first.
Now at 6-2, putting yourself in a playoff position, do you have thoughts of that?
OK， 如果现在你已经6胜了，你现在可能会进入了复赛这种考虑的成分，你有这个考虑吗？
没有，我觉得还是打好我自己的就可以了。一场一场比赛，不论对手是谁。
Actually, she didn't worry about the result. Just try to play best in next game.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, and that was Victoria's skip, Sedia Louis, who picks up another victory. They're now 6-2. They have Russia tonight. We're back for more action later on this afternoon. Second of 3 straight, as it'll be Scotland taking on Sweden. Sweden off a morning bye, so they'll look to tie themselves with Canada and Switzerland to top the standings. For myself, Luke Coley, and Swisshelm, and the entire crew, thanks for tuning in as we are back for Draw 13 here from St. John, New Brunswick, Canada.